Yes, guys, how we doing? Good afternoon. I hope you're very well. It is a gorgeous. Sorry, I was sorting my hair out. It's all over the place. Um, yeah, it's a gorgeous day in London. So banging out some videos. I think it's about time that I commented on probably the biggest product release of the year. I guess arguably that isn't software. I mean, obviously everything this year's been AI. 2014, 2023, 2024 has definitely been the years of AI, haven't they? But I'd say the biggest product release is the Apple Vision Pro. But the thing is, a lot of people, it seems like it's polarized the tech industry, right? As in some people are just like, that's ridiculous. What is the point of it? The problem is that people that are negative about it kind of cite the fact that it's incredibly expensive. There's limited apps for it now. Developers haven't really got involved yet. It's going to be made in limited numbers. It's only being released in America. And kind of like, what's the point of it? We've got VR headsets. The Meta Quest has been around for a long time. That's barely made a dent. Like, not many people use that. So why have Apple got in this space? People seem to be confused. Like, why is Apple doing this? And then on the other side, people that love it, like they love it because it's like revolutionary. The fact that it uses, I think the biggest thing, I mean, there's a lot of things that make it incredible and unique compared to any other VR headset or any other product. For me, the main thing though is the fact that it uses gestures. And this, I'm going to go into more detail as to why this is so important, right? But the fact that it used gestures is massive. And this is why Apple took this long to release this product. I've been working on this product for absolutely years, like at least a decade, if not longer. This, trust me, this is like as big as the iPhone for Apple, way bigger than the Apple Watch, way bigger than anything else they've released. This is bigger than Apple Silicon. This is the biggest release since the iPhone, and if they execute in terms of like the direction they want to go in and how this product will evolve, this will literally almost define Apple. And I'll explain why there needs to be like a couple of other very key pieces that need to be in place, and all of their Apple Intelligence AI announcements from last week, or maybe it's 2 weeks ago now at WWDC, are also really, really critical and were very important. And Apple were working on them a long time as well, because Apple know that there are two things that need to be in place. So it needs to be Apple Vision Pro needs to evolve into quite a different product, but that's why they've released it, so they can begin to evolve it into that product. And then the other thing is the AI piece, like the AI assistant. So for Apple Vision Pro to work, a virtual assistant needs to be in place and needs to be like incredible. It needs to be a game-changing virtual assistant, and I'll explain all of that. So yeah, the gestures element is really important because, so I'll explain first. So if you're not aware, if you haven't seen any of the demos or anything, the Meta Quest, which is probably the closest rival, and then even other higher end ones are like way more expensive than the Meta Quest and even more expensive than Apple's Vision Pro. They use joysticks. So the Meta Quest, you have like these joysticks, and they have like you hold them in your hand, and then there's joysticks at the top, and that's how you navigate. And then you push buttons, and it's been like that for a long time. I think the latest Meta Quest has brought in some kind of gesture functionality, but the Apple Vision Pro, the first version 1 out the box, has incredible gesture recognition control. 6 cameras that are solely like high-end cutting-edge cameras that just track your eyes, right? So apparently everything I've seen, all the demos, all the other tech YouTubers are talking about how this product just tracks your eyes in phenomenal detail. So what does that mean? So when you put the Apple Vision Pro on, and then you see either you're recording, because there's cameras on the outside, so it will record your environment in high definition, almost as like it's the same as if you would see it with your own eyes. And then that is how it can then lay graphics and screens and whatever on top of that environment. But how Apple Vision Pro controls it is you're literally just like swiping with your hand. You do this like little click thing to like select. So it tracks your eyes, and then as you're looking at different apps, so if there's like a grid of like lots of little circles of apps, so Photos is there, Notes is there, Apple TV is there. As you look at those apps, they pop up, they get bigger, and then you just like use this little like click thing, and that is how you select the app. And then to make it bigger, you'll just do this like little pinch thing, and it will get bigger or smaller on the screen. Apparently, it's incredible. It's very, very Apple, like it's very like magic experience. And then you set your screens up. You can have 3 screens, 4 screens, and you can just like move through the screens. If you're watching a film, you can like top it to, you can do that click thing to pause it, and then you can like scrub through, like fast forward wherever you want, rewind. It's like what you see in sci-fi videos, like it's sci-fi movies. Like it's just incredible. Like it's magic. It's very, very Apple. So that was critical, because the way all the other VR headsets have been developed, like the Meta Quest one, is with these joysticks and stuff, you're never going to take that outside. Yeah, you're never going to walk around with it. You're not even probably going to take it to like someone else's house. This has always been focused on your own environment, your own home or your office or whatever. And because you've got this big headset and then you've got these joysticks, Apple want this product to transition and move to being a very, very mobile device. So they made sure that there was a battery pack, that there's a magnetic charger that like clips on the back, or I think it's on the side. And then you have this little battery pack. And then obviously what Apple would imagine would want you to do, and maybe some people will do this, is buy quite a few battery packs. So then you can just keep plugging in battery packs, and then you can use it for longer and longer. And maybe, the more comfortable you get with it, because like I say, you see the outside environment very, very clearly. So you're not going to like bump into things and stuff. So, you can like walk around with it. In order for that to be any kind of like realistic experience, i.e. something people were going to do, the way you control it and you navigate and the way you interact, the UI, the user interaction, the only way that was people were ever going to even consider doing it was if you could just use your hands to control everything. Now it is going to be compatible with like PlayStation games controllers and Xbox games controllers. So when you play games, you can do that. So, and keyboards. So any Bluetooth keyboard or mouse is going to be compatible with it, just like your Mac. So you can sit there, and when you're doing work with the Vision Pro on, you can use keyboards and stuff. Or it'll have like a virtual keyboard, so it would just like put a keyboard on the desk, or you'll be able to move the keyboard wherever you want. There'll be like a virtual keyboard in the air, or you can have like a massive trackpad and do stuff with that. And eventually it'll be like with 3D CAD design stuff, it'll be amazing, because I imagine you'll be able to like move the thing you've designed around with your hands and then like open it up. I mean, it will be really, really cool. One thing that's really important that I think everyone needs to understand, where people are looking at this wrong, where they're being critical of it, they're looking at it wrong. Apple's goal, well, 100%. The reason they brought out the Pro version, so with everything with Apple now, or with a lot of products, there's a Pro version, right? With the Apple Watch, they've got the Ultra, that's the Pro version. And then you've got the normal watches. And then, you've got the phone, so you've got the iPhone Pro, and then the normal version. The reason they brought the Pro out first, that is Apple almost telling us something without saying it, just in the title. One of the next versions, there might be an Apple Vision Pro 2, but at some point within the next year, 2 years, there'll just be an Apple Vision. Yeah. Now that will be the reason they brought out the higher end heavy that's made out of like aluminium and glass. The next one will more than likely, it'll either use a lot less glass and a lot less aluminium, or it'll be thinner, or it'll be plastic. It'll just be like very high quality. Obviously it's Apple, everything's going to be very high quality. There'll be super high quality plastic, and I think it will still use glass, but maybe the glass will be thinner or whatever. Maybe there'll be a couple of less cameras. But where now it's like $3,500, which is insane. They will release a version that will cost like the same or very similar comparative to like an iPhone Pro, which hundreds of thousands of people buy, right? Like millions of people buy the Pro, even though it's insanely expensive. It's $1,000. Like that's insane for a phone. They'll release this Pro version, the normal version, and it'll be £1,000. Still a really expensive product for a non-Pro version, but then at least people will consider buying it. And this version will be a lot better than that original version. The battery life will be way better. It'll be a lot lighter. What they will be hoping is that that version will be so much lighter and so much more comfortable based on everything they've learned and all the feedback they've got. And the battery life, like I said, will be loads better. That people will be like more inclined to go outside and use it. They'll just put their Apple Vision on, they'll take it to the park. It'll be, they'll be able to put it in a bag, and then they'll be able to, call people, talk to people, watch a movie, go through Instagram Reels, watch YouTube, still maybe even do some work. You could do, I don't know, video editing or whatever, and it's just on your Vision Pro. And like you take your laptop out, but then you do it with your Vision Pro, with your Apple Vision, and it'll just be like cheaper and smaller and lighter. And then all they will keep doing is iterating down, right? They'll make it smaller and a bit cheaper, smaller and a bit cheaper, smaller and a bit cheaper, until this product becomes something where it's pretty much like with you all the time. Basically, it becomes like a pair of glasses, because what Apple want to do is like these products. So the Oppo glasses, the Oppo Air Glasses 3, and then the Meta Ray-Bans. Now, basically, these two products are like pretty just rubbish versions of what Apple want to create. Okay. Now, my prediction will be that the Vision, like Apple doing a headset, is literally like an experiment. I wouldn't be surprised once they've achieved the product, when they've released a product that is basically like a pair of glasses, maybe they will have both products. So they'll have their AI glass, they'll have like Apple Glass, and then they'll have Apple Vision. One day, Apple Vision Pro, I would imagine, will go away, because Apple really aren't that bothered. Like, maybe it'll be a thing. Maybe it's the future of gaming. Maybe it's what people will want to watch movies on. But I absolutely don't think so, because if that was the case, demand would be higher and there would be more VR headsets. Because VR headsets have been around a long time. There would be more VR headsets. They'd be ubiquitous everywhere. Everyone would have one, because the Meta Quest isn't that expensive, even though it's like not a great product. It's not that expensive. And if there was that much demand for a VR headset, Apple would have brought one out a long time ago and been working on this a long time. Even though theirs is like amazing and like so much better and like a revolutionary product, Apple know that people don't want to sit at home with a headset on. Yeah. They know that you don't want to if you're with your partner and your family, it's not going to be like all movie night with my wife and the kids, and we all have a headset on our faces and we all watch a movie together with headsets on our faces. And like, there's like virtual representations of us. Like, Apple know that no one wants to do that. And that like thing of that is dumb. It's not the future of work. People don't want to have like a voice call in Teams, and there's this like VR version of you, this like virtual reality 3D version of you. Even however lifelike they get, they know that people don't want to do that. Okay. The only way that is going to happen, right, is when you've got like, this is like 50, 70, 100 years down the line, when there's either like contact lenses, like something actually in your eye, or we go down Neuralink, Elon Musk route, and you got a chip in the back of your head, and it does it that way. But you are still always going to want to have, if you're watching a movie with your partner, you're going to want to like look next to you and see your partner, or have your kids sitting around. Part of the joy of going to the cinema is that the person you've gone with is next to you, or you're in there with like a crowd of people and there's an atmosphere. If it's a great film, you're watching it with your family, like your kids are sitting around you and you watch your kids like smile and enjoy it. Apple know that the VR headsets are like dumb. There isn't a market for it, or the market's very, very small. Nothing like the iPhone, but the market for VR, AR, augmented reality glasses is absolutely huge if executed properly. Now, the Meta Ray-Bans and then these Oppo glasses are just two companies like trying to have a go. and they'll keep reiterating and developing this product. And I think Meta are trying to do. I think they're trying to do like the Ray-Ban Meta glasses and their Meta Quest, and they're trying to do what Apple's doing. They're trying to beat Apple to it, and they're trying to fuse those two products together so it becomes one product. The only reason Apple have brought out the Apple Vision Pro is because they want to transform that product eventually into AR glasses. Now, I guarantee you there are some AR glasses like prototypes at Apple. I 100% guarantee you that, because that is what they wanted to have released first, but they would have just realized that the compute power with current battery technology, you just can't do it. The battery would be like nothing. It'd be like half an hour. It'd be like one of them little button cell batteries, and it would be like half an hour, and you'd have to change the battery out, every 20 minutes, and it would be ridiculous, and no one would buy it, and it would be a joke, and everyone would be laughing at Apple. Whereas with this Vision Pro, you stay at home, you have it plugged into the wall, battery lasts all day. It's an incredible experience like no one's ever seen, and they can slowly just make that smaller, more comfortable. So what they want to get to as quickly as possible, 2-3 years time, is it's more like a pair of goggles. I mean, like swimming goggles, or like like when people like do soldering. I'll put like an image up, but something like that, where it's just like a set of goggles, and then there's a battery pack maybe on the back, but it's super light, but does everything the Vision Pro does and does it way better. And obviously, this is all gesture controlled. That's where they want to get to. And then they want to take that, and that just turns into AR glasses. And when I say AR glasses, I mean the best example I've ever seen of this in a virtual sense, like a movie, is Tony Stark, Iron Man. Watch, in those movies where Tony has his glasses and everything graphically comes up through the glasses, and it's all, he can see everything, and it's analyzing everything. And that's what Apple want. They want you to be using Apple Maps, and it's all displayed, like the guidance, the directions and the map graphics of where you need to go is laid out on the environment perfectly. Or a message, you get a text message and it pops up in your glasses and you can see it perfectly, and you can choose to respond or not. Or an email comes up, or your music's there, and then you even like something little, like imagine having glasses and it like the time is just there all the time. Or your reminder pops up, oh, you've got to do this, and it's all through a set of glasses. That is what they want to get to. And going kind of full circle again, that is why the gesture control, they were never going to release this product until they had nailed gesture control and eye tracking, because the two most, apart from the battery life, which is why they can't do it at the moment, but the battery life is critical. But the most important thing, the way that product works, is being able to track your eyes so it can see where you're looking in the environment and see what you want to select. But you have to be able to use your hands, because just imagine if you're sitting there and you've got the glasses on and things are popping up, and you've got your maps and you've got your music or whatever else. You want to be able to just use your hands. You don't have to like get anything out and go da 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 da. Also, how it could work though, one version, maybe the very first version, will be very dependent on your phone. So maybe you pull your phone out and you can see the keyboard. So if you're going to type a message back to someone on WhatsApp or iMessage, rather than look down at your phone, the keyboard comes up and the message is there. You reply and you're typing on your phone, but you can see it up in front of you, as big or as small as you want, in the with your glasses. Now that'll be a bit weird at first, but I think people get used to it. It kind of be like when you learn to touch type on a keyboard and you don't need to look at the keyboard anymore. So, and then you could like flick through things as well on your phone. But going back to what I said was the other most important point, and why Apple's AI announcements were really important, is where this goes absolutely parabolic, like goes mental, and where Apple will absolutely nail it. And I guarantee you, I promise you, this is the direction Apple want to go in, where they want to get to. And every other, Google, Meta, Microsoft, want to get to this point, which is why everyone's obsessed with AI at the moment, is the AI assistant. And where everyone is saying, AI can do this, the image, creating images and rephrasing your emails to be more casual or proofreading them, doing this, doing that. All those functions of what AI can do are irrelevant. Okay. The most important thing is that the assistant is amazing, because eventually, once the assistant is incredible, all those things that it can do will just sit under the assistant. You won't care about, can it do this and can it do that and can it do this? Once the assistant is so good, the assistant will just do all those things. And again, I would, even if you hate Marvel movies and especially Iron Man, maybe just go on YouTube and see the clips, because that is the future that all these tech companies are trying to get to. In those movies, Tony Stark talks to his AI assistant Jarvis like he's literally having a conversation with a friend or like an assistant. And this is not that far away. I would also urge you, I'll put some links in the description below of chat GBTs from OpenAI, the chat GBT 4.0. The demonstration they gave, oh my God, it blew me away. It was so conversational. This was an AI that they were talking to that was making jokes and completely understanding the context of everything they said and knowing who they are and looking at the environment. And it was incredible. It was incredible. You'd have thought it was fake, like 100% you'd have thought it was fake, but apparently this is totally real. And GPT-4 is going in that direction. It was amazing at typing and text and everything before, but now ChatGPT 4.0 is as good with the text, with the conversation and the summaries and what the information it gives to you, as it's now that good conversationally, and it's becoming like talking to a person. So I think it's a combination of like the voice assistant, the assistant in terms of conversational gets better and better. It gets better at being your assistant, interacting with other apps, being able to do anything you want, reply to an email, all of that. Now imagine you combine that, you've got an AI assistant and you've got AR glasses, like the AR glasses I just described that work that well, and you've got this incredible AI assistant. What that then means is you will never, hardly ever, have to take your phone out of your pocket. Yeah, your phone just kind of becomes now. Both the AI system will come from your phone, and you'll have headphones in, and then the AI glasses will work in tandem with your phone. A lot of the processing will happen on your phone, kind of like with your Apple Watch, and your phone will talk to your glasses, relay the information. But if visually, the only reason you take your phone out of your pocket is to see what's on the screen, because you need visual interaction, right? You need to read and see what's on the screen. If you don't need to do that anymore, if we lived in a world where you didn't have to see your phone screen anymore, why would you take it out of your pocket? Especially the only other reason is to talk, right? So someone calls you and you've got to talk. So if you've got headphones in, very discreet headphones, AI glasses, so audio and visual is taken care of by two devices that you're wearing, you don't need to take your phone out your pocket ever. So your phone just becomes something that just sits in your pocket. And as technology develops over that time, the phone will become smaller and smaller and lighter and lighter. So your phone just becomes like this little thing, way smaller than it is now. That just goes in your pocket because battery technology and processor technology has moved on to the point where phones are way smaller, way lighter. And because you don't need a big screen, the obsession now with massive screens, right? But you don't need that anymore because you've got your glasses. So the phone, when you don't need the screen anymore, just becomes smaller and smaller. It becomes a battery and a processor. That's it. And there might be a small screen in case your AI glasses stop working, but it becomes like this tiny little thing. And imagine, let's go a stage further where AR glasses become so good that you don't need a screen on your phone anymore. It's totally pointless because you just always use your glasses. You always put them on. Doesn't matter if you're in a dark nightclub or it's the night time, your AI glasses just always work. They figure out a way to make it so they work all the time. The battery life's incredible. Battery lasts for 2 days and you just charge it at night. You've got another 2 days again. But you never need a screen on a phone. Imagine that. You do not need the screen. One of the massive reasons why phones are shaped the way they are and as big as they are is because of the screen. A lot of the technology components power the screen, run the screen. Imagine you don't need that anymore. Suddenly a phone goes from like how big my phone is, like that big, right? Suddenly this I'd imagine can like probably half in size. Suddenly it just becomes this little square that's just what, a battery pack and a processor, you know, and that's it. Or, you know, maybe it stays the same size so it's a good camera size because it still needs to be your camera, but that's it. It's just a processor and a battery. So that is how it could all change. And that's the direction we're going in. And that is what Vision Pro is for. That's the direction of travel. So if you're thinking about why is Apple Vision Pro so expensive? Oh my God, it's so pointless. Apple has a plan for that product, and it is the reason they're losing money on it. They are, trust me, they're losing tons and tons of money. There's no way they're making a profit, even at $3,000. I bet they're not making a profit because it'd be so hard to make. It's all because they have a massive direction. It's the future of the company. It's what Tim Cook believes. It's what the rest of the company believes. It will change the way phones look. It will change how headphones are, because headphones will have to get smaller and smaller and just sit in your ears all day long, so you don't have to use your phone anymore, and it works with the glasses. And it's while they'll push the AI assistant even more so that it works so well with the glasses. Trust me, that's the future. Future of tech is glasses and tiny little headphones that you barely notice are there, and your phone is just this little brick that you take photos with and just sits in your pocket that you barely know is there. That's the future. You heard it here first. That's my prediction. Let me know what you think. Thoughts in the comments. And smash a like. Hope you like that video. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.